So hi guys, today we will be discussing this question. This was asked in recent contest. So let's have a look at this question. So initially we are given two arrays, arrays called num and arrays called multiplier. We are also given that the size of nums is greater than size of multiplier. So initially you begin with a score of 0. So it's sort of a you are playing a game and your initial score is 0. And they are asking you to perform like n steps, which is equal to the size of multiplier array. So in each step, you sort of you have to pick an element from end or the start of array nums, add multiplier. Okay, so you have to pick an element from the nums array. So that element like should be either from the start or the end, and you have to pick the first element from the multiplier array. You have to multiply the both element, either the first or either the last from the nums element. You have to add that score, multiply score to your result, and delete the both elements, which the one from multiplier and one from nums, right? And you have to like perform this step n time. So your final goal is to return the maximum score you can get from performing all these steps, right? So let's have a look at the first test case. So in the first test case, we have given the nums that is 1 2 3 and multiplier as 3 to 1, right? So let me switch back to the whiteboard. Yeah. Yeah. So this is our nums array 1 2 3. This is our multiplier array. Yeah. So let's like perform the steps. So initially you pick the first element. You have to pick anyhow. You have to pick the first element in the first step from the multiplier, and you have to pick either the first or the last. Yeah. So in this step, I'm picking up the last element. So you add that result to your score to your result. That will be 3 into 1. And what is the remaining array? You have to delete both of them from the respective arrays. So since we picked one from the first array, so like nums array, so we have only two elements, 2 and 3 in the nums array. And since so every time we have to pick the first element from the multiplier array, so we will delete 3, and like our array will be 2 1, right? Let's look at the second scenario wherein we like, pick the last element from the nums array. So we pick 3 and 3 from here, multiply it, and this is the remaining array. Yeah, we have to go this. We have to follow the we have to repeat this process up to like 3 steps as given in the question. So this is the first step, right? So here it's same we are doing. We are picking the first element, that is 2 and 2, multiplying it, and this is the remaining element we have. In the second step we are like picking the last element from the nums array and the first element from the multiplier array. We are like adding that multiplier to our result, and this is our remaining array. Similar to this, we are picking this 2 and this one. So result will be 2. We will add, and these are the remaining element. Similarly like this, 9 first and last. It will be 4, and remaining array is 1 1. So this is our second step, right? We have to perform third step. So this is the final step. We add this, that it will be 7 7 plus 3, since we multiply 10. This is our first step. So this is like this many scenario we can have. Similarly, multiply this, it will be 9 plus 2 11, right? Similar this, it will be 9 plus 2 11 plus 2 13, and similarly 9 plus 4 plus 1, answer is 14. So our answer will be this one, because since it was asked in the question, uh, you have to return the maximum array, right? So let's so like such, if you see such kind of question, right? The first thing you have to notice is what is its time constant given. So in this question, it is given that length of sorry, let n be the length of nums and m be the length of multiplier. Given that n will be greater than equal to m. Uh, sorry, let's look at the constant. N will be greater than equal to m. second constant given is n is less than 10 power 3 and m is less than 10 power 7. So looking at the constant, we have to come up with a solution which of time complexity such as om square or o or on. These are the two time complexity. These are the like possible time complexity which will be accepted by uh, the judge, right? So yeah, as I said earlier, this kind of question you generally solve with the recursion. Once you figure it out what is your recursive formula, you sort of try to store all the subcases, so that question turns to a dynamic programming. Dynamic programming is simple. You first solve the subcases, smaller cases. You break a like large case into smaller case, and once you solve that smaller case, you store it in an array or a map, such that second time you hit the same scenario, you you return that already stored result, right? Yeah. So let's look at the recursive solution here. So let's consider I. So let's consider I and J are I, J, and M, three pointers. I is a pointer pointing toward the ith element from the start. So let's say if we have num array like this, 1, 2, 3, then I will be this one, J will be this one, and we have again this is nums, yeah, and we have again multiplier 3, 2, 1. Then M will be pointing to the first element. This is I, this is J. Clear, right? Yeah. So since we have to perform only M step. So if M is greater than size, you have to return 0. This is a recursive formula. Else, uh, let's say this is multiplier, this is multiplier, and this is nums array. So else, what you will do, you will like pick the max by solving the both case. In the first case, you select the like, first element from the num. In the second case, you select the last element from the num, and like solve all those subcases and come back and return the solution. So here, so we have if this is the case, we return 0. Else we return multiply uh, multiply the first element of the multiplier array with the first element of the nums array, and this is the sub case which we have to solve. F of I, since we have used the ith element, so we will be having only I plus 1 to j element, and in the nums we will have only m plus 1, right? So the max of this and this, here we are using the element from the end, right? You can see the j pointer, and this is the sub case. So if we see, so even if you solve this question with a dynamic programming, it will eventually take this much of time. O of m square into n into m minus 1. I will tell you the reason why it's taking such time. Let's say we have n. Let's say we have n of a n with a length of 5, and m is a length of 3. Yeah. So anyhow, uh, what can be the uh, what can be the element which can be selected? The element can be selected can be 1, 2, comma 3, leaving this 4 and 5. Uh, they can be 1, 2, and 1, 2, and uh, so we consider this case. Let us consider this case. We selected 1, 2, and 5. Let me write here. Uh, what are the cases? 1, 2, 3. This is the first case. Second case, 2 from the start, 1 from the end. This is the second case. 1 from the start, 1 from the start, 2 from the end. And third case would be 0 from the start. Oh, actually, uh, so how many cases are this? n minus m plus 1 cases, right? And to solve that sub case, which is this one, this sub case is you need O of m square with dynamic programming. Since n can be up 10 power 5 and n can be up to 10 power 3, clearly this will cause TLE, right? This will cause TLE. So this is what makes this question so unique. This is a good question actually. So you have to optimize it. Yeah. So let's think of a second solution here. So yeah, so we have to come up with a solution of OM square or ON, right? So yeah, let me define a DP, where DPIJ indicates the maximum result one can one can get on using I element from the start and J element from the end. Obviously, uh, your answer will be dp x comma y, where x plus y should be equal to m, since we are using m step, right? This is your clear. So like you have to like calculate this dp, right? And after calculating this dp, after storing all the sub cases, large cases, you have to like pass that dp and query through that dp and like take a maximum out of the dp's satisfying this condition x plus y equal to m, right? So if we go by top down solution, bottom up, usually if you like go through the bottom up, yeah, if you ask me, bottom up solutions are like uh, good, they are like more efficient, but in the competitive programming scenario you have to basically save the time, so go with a top down approach. Yeah, so let us first discuss what will be in the dp solution of the dp. So dpij, so you either select the first element of the multiplier. So here I'm selecting the first element of the multiplier, right? And what is I plus j? So at any point of scenario, if you are at I comma j, what uh, so how so if we look at my like if you rewind the video, what I said about dpij is the what is the maximum result you can get on utilizing I element from the start and the j element of from the end. So what does this suggest? You have already picked I plus j, so you have already uh, gone by I plus j step, right? So essentially, you have to pick this one. So you are at multiply I plus j. This is why this is how it is coming. This is why it is coming. So you have to pick the first element or the last element, and this is the subcase, right? Okay. So we will go by a top-down solution. Sorry, top-down solution. So let me share my lead code solution. So to have a better understanding. I don't know if my explanation was up to the mark, but okay, I will try to be better. So if anyone is new to dynamic programming, you don't have to be get intimidating. It's a normal recursion. If you understand a normal recursion, then dynamic programming won't be that hard. So first, come up with a recursive solution. Uh, Once you come up with a recursive solution, try to save the subcases. Uh, Once you save all the subcases, like that is what a dynamic programming is. They have just given it a different name. It's actually uh, what do you say? It's actually recursion only, right? So let us go back to our question and let me hide the solution, and we'll uh, start from the scratch. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we have given nums and the multiplier. Let me change it to n and m. It will be good. Nums and multi. Okay, so let me define a DP. So essentially DP will be of size m cross n, right? Since like uh, we have to only consider m steps, wherein m is a length size of, right? Let me define a DP. So what did I tell about a DP? So DPIJ so DPIJ indicates maximum result you can get on selecting I element from the start and j element from the end, right? Let me uh, put initial value as int so that like we can distinguish whether this sub solution was uh, already visited or not. Yeah. So let me define our recursive solution. Find the, let me call it find the. Okay, okay. Return find the I is 0, j is 0, m is 0. Yeah. Let me pass the dp nums and multi. First element is I, second is j, third is m. Then after that, so one thing you have to notice when using a top-down approach, pass dp by reference. Otherwise, there is no use. And try to pass every element as by the reference. Yeah. So that there is no overhead of copying. If you pass by value, there is an additional overhead, which is bad. Sometimes it can cause a TLE. What is our base case? If m, so essentially m is nothing but I plus j. If m is greater than multi dot size greater than or equal to, return 0, right? So let me check if this sub solution sub case was already visited and we have a solution. Since it was filled by int min, if in some case dpij is not equal to int min, which indicates this subcase was already visited. So let me return that. Why to waste my time on finding solution for that subcase? We have already have that solution. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Otherwise, dpij is max of multi. So m is essentially I plus j. Yeah. Multi okay, multi nums I plus find. This is a sub case for this condition. Since we have used the first element, we have to pass I plus 1, j, dp, m plus 1. So m pointer m will be shifting by 1 in every scenario. Multi, yeah. Multi m into nums j plus find the I comma j minus 1. Since we use oh sorry. Okay. So since we are passing this way, okay. So we are using jth element from the end, so it should be like this: psi minus 1 minus j, and we have to j plus 1, right? We have to shift I to I and j by 1 every time. I think this will work. Let me verify. This looks good. I plus one j. This also looks good. Multi. Yeah. Did you understand why I did this? Just give it a couple of thoughts. You will get it. Or rewind a video. Uh, yeah, it should work. Multi. Did I? Misspell? No matching function. Find the dp. We have to pass dp. Find the word. Yep. We pass the first test case. Let me check if we are passing the second one. 102. Let me submit it. Yeah, yeah. So our solution was accepted. Let me get back to the drawing board and analyze the solution. Yeah. So what did we do? What are we passing? I. We are passing I. We are passing I, J, M. Right? I is denoting. We have already used I up. We have already used element from 0 to I minus 1. Right? Similarly, this is denoting we have already used from the last. That will be, this will be nums dot size minus j plus 1, since it's the 0th element, so we have used this one. And m denotes, we have already surpassed m minus 1 multi. So every time, so if we break it in a branch, so every time we have to return back nums I, since we are using the first element, multi m plus, uh, let me call it f I plus 1 j m plus 1, right? Similarly, nums. So what does j indicate? It indicates jth element from the last. So it will be nums dot size minus j plus 1 minus j minus 1, I think, 0th index, into multi m, right, plus f of I comma j plus 1. Why j plus 1? Because we used last element from the first, last element in the scenario, m plus 1. So what we have to do is we have to simply return the maximum of these two scenarios. That's all. Okay, let me know if you like this solution. Thank you.